Our trash pickup was missed. I called the city. They said someone had canceled it from my number. I checked my phone records. Nothing. Then I noticed my router logs and found a device I didn't recognize logged into my network. I traced it to one house over. I live in a quiet neighborhood just outside of Columbus, Ohio. Middle of the road kind of place. Lawns get mowed on Sundays, people wave but don't really talk, and trash goes out on Monday mornings. That's how it's always been. So, when our trash didn't get picked up one week, I figured it was a mistake. I even brought the bin back in, no big deal. But when it happened again, the next week, that's when I got annoyed. I called the city. Just wanted to make sure our pickup wasn't rescheduled or something. The woman on the phone was polite, then suddenly sounded confused. She said, "Actually, sir, it shows here your service was canceled." I asked her what she meant. She told me it had been canceled by phone. Someone called in and said we were moving. Gave our address. Gave my phone number. I told her I never made that call. She paused, then said, "Well, it came from your number." I checked my phone log right after we hung up. Nothing. No call to the city, not even by accident. I even asked my wife if she had done anything, but she hadn't. The kids are too young to even mess with that stuff. That night, something kept nagging at me. I work from home. I'm not paranoid, but I know my way around a router. So I logged into ours, just to double-check. I hadn't looked at the logs in a long time, but I remembered how to read them. And there it was. A device called Pixel_5A. Logged in for over a week. Not one of ours. We're an iPhone family. No Androids here. I stared at the log. The connection time lined up exactly with when the city said the trash cancellation call happened. I checked the MAC address, made a note of it. Then I checked the signal strength. That told me it wasn't far, whatever it was nearby. I started walking around the house with my laptop. Checked signal strength as I moved. Signal got weaker by the driveway, but stronger as I walked out the back door and toward the side fence that divides our yard from our neighbors. Strongest when I stood by the fence facing his garage. My neighbor's name is Derek. He moved in 6 months ago. Said he worked in IT. Always seemed friendly. A little too friendly. Like always asking about what kind of tech we use, what smart devices we had, what internet plan we were on. I never thought much of it. Until now. I told my wife. She thought I was overthinking it. Why would he do that? Maybe he just accidentally connected once and forgot. But I know better. That kind of thing doesn't happen by accident. Especially not for over a week. Especially not around the same time our trash pickup got mysteriously canceled with a spoofed phone number. So I got more serious. I pulled out an old Raspberry Pi I hadn't touched in years, set it up to sniff our network. Caught his Pixel reconnecting 2 nights later, in the middle of the night. That wasn't the worst part. I saw DNS lookups coming from his device. A few for Google. Normal stuff. But others? For Nest.com. Our Nest account. Our cameras. That's when my stomach dropped. This wasn't about trash pickup. He was trying to get into our cameras. Into our house. I changed every password. Factory reset every device. Shut down the network and built a new one from scratch. Hardwired where I could. And I stopped sleeping well. Then I did something else. I started watching him. Like I never had before. He kept the garage door cracked, just enough to let air through, but not enough to see inside unless you really tried. So I started walking the dog past his house at different times. Mornings. Nights. Even once at 2 a.m. just to see if he was still up. And he was. That blue glow from the monitors, leaking through the slats in the blinds. Always working on something. A few nights later, I noticed something new, a small black dome camera mounted just under the roof edge on the side facing my house. I know it wasn't there before. It was aimed right at our living room window. I took a picture of it. Told my wife. She was freaked out but didn't want to believe he was doing anything wrong. Said, "Maybe he's just being careful. You're jumping to conclusions." But I wasn't. I knew what I saw. I started documenting everything, photos, dates, device logs. I Even recorded the network activity from the night the pixel logged in. I stored everything on a flash drive, hidden away. I wasn't sure what to do with it yet, but I had a feeling I'd need it. Then one morning, I came out to find our mailbox door hanging open. Inside was a ripped envelope, one I hadn't seen before. No address, just our names scribbled on the front. Inside was a printed screenshot. It was from inside our house. A shot from our Nest Cam. Our living room, time-stamped a week before I reset everything. I sat down on the porch and just stared at it. My hands were shaking. My wife came out and saw me holding it. She didn't say a word, just sat next to me. We didn't talk that day. I knew then that this had gone way past creepy. He had been watching us. Inside our home. Before I wiped the system. Before I shut him out. He had proof. And now he wanted us to know. I couldn't sleep after that. I kept thinking, why send the screenshot? Why now? It wasn't a threat, not exactly. It felt more like a message. Like he wanted me to know how deep he'd been in. How helpless I had been without even realizing it. I stopped caring about being quiet. I wanted him to know I was watching too. So the next day, I put up my own cameras. One facing his house. Another in the back, aimed at the fence line. And one more right in the kitchen window, pointed straight out, blinking red. Obvious. Deliberate. He noticed. That same night, I saw him outside in his driveway, staring up at it. He didn't wave. Didn't smile. Just stood there for a few seconds, then went back inside. 2 days later, our internet went down. No weather issues. No outages in the area. Just dead. I checked the router. Nothing looked damaged. But the fiber line in the box outside had been cut. Clean. Snipped at the connector. I had to call a tech out to replace the whole thing. The guy doing the repair said, "This doesn't happen unless someone does it on purpose." I knew exactly who. I didn't bother calling the police yet. I knew what they'd say. No hard proof, just guesses. And Derek was smart. Careful. Everything he did had a layer of distance. But then it escalated. My son, he's 7, came to me with a strange look. Said, "Dad, why is the man next door waving at me through the window when you're not home?" I asked him what he meant. He said Derek waves when I leave for work meetings. Sometimes he makes funny faces. But only when it's just the kids and my wife in the house. I felt sick. That night, I knocked on Derek's door. First time I'd done it since he moved in. He opened it with that same fake smile. "Hey man, what's up?" I stared at him and said, "You need to stay the hell away from my family." His smile twitched. He blinked like he didn't understand. "You think you're slick. I know what you've been doing," I said. My voice was shaking. The cameras, the network, the trash call, all of it. He shrugged. "I don't know what you're talking about." "You will," I said. "And you're gonna wish you never picked this house." I walked away. My heart was pounding. The next morning, I found a dead rat on our doorstep. No note. Just lying there, belly up, like a message. That was the last straw. I still don't know what else he saw, what else he copied or recorded or sent to God knows where. The cameras are gone now. The Wi-Fi's locked down like a fortress. But sometimes at night, when it's quiet, I stare at the wall where our Nest Cam used to be. And I wonder how long he was watching us before I noticed.